The new Star Wars Rogue One trailer hit the internet today and proceeded to immediately destroy everyone's free time. All of us Star Wars YouTubers dropped everything we were doing to cover it, and Star Wars fans around the world are probably watching it at work as we speak. So to make sure nobody gets left behind and we get everyone up to speed, today I'll be taking a look at 10 secrets that have been revealed in the Rogue One trailer. 10 things that you may have missed and are definitely important to the storyline of Rogue One. My name is Connor and welcome to Star Wars Central. Beginning with number 10, at the start of the trailer we see Galen Erso's past. How her father was taken into the Empire by Director Krennic himself. Only he's not a director yet. Notice his rank insignia does not match that of an admiral, instead the bar of red as an insignia matches that of a general, meaning this took place a significant amount of time before the movie begins. But back to Galen Erso, it seems he turned himself to the Empire willingly. Sure, he may have joined the Empire to work on the Death Star to protect his daughter, Galen Erso, who's the main character, but considering we also see her in jail, I doubt that plan worked. Moving on to number 9, the Death Troopers following Director Krennic in the past seem to be his own personal squads, meaning not only does he hold significant power in the Empire, but these Death Troopers may play a much larger role in the story than we previously thought. At the very least, they didn't get all these props and weapons for nothing, and my bet is we'll see a pretty epic battle in the movie. Next up, at number 8, we have Darth Vader. There are 3 scenes with Vader in this trailer. The first is where Vader is observing the targeting screen of the Death Star. The second is where Director Krennic is talking about the power of the weapon, perhaps trying to persuade him to allow him to fire it. And the third and final scene shows Vader moving to Krennic very quickly. Is it just me, or does it seem like maybe not everything's going to plan? And knowing Vader's track record, there is a good chance Krennic is going to be executed. Moving on to number 7, we see a large destroyed statue of a Jedi in the desert. Now, this statue is huge. It easily rivals the statues on Korriban and even the statues outside the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. This is just one of many clues that point to Jeddah being a planet of the Force, and of major significance to the Empire and the Jedi. What we know so far leads us to believe that at the start of Rogue One, Jeddah is seized and occupied by the Galactic Empire for its resources. Now, Jeddah is very, very important because it's a source for Kyber crystals, which many of you know are the main component in lightsabers and of course the super laser of the Death Star. Moving on to number 6, Galen Erso is being held or perhaps working at an Imperial facility that we saw in the previous Rogue One trailer. As you can see, it is heavily defended and we've already seen fight sequences on this planet. And we know at some point this facility will be attacked by the Rogue One squad. Also, Director Krennic, notice his insignia has changed from General to Admiral, visits Galen Erso on the planet, perhaps to discover his progress on the Death Star. Remember guys, in the Star Wars lore, the first Death Star took decades to build. There were numerous setbacks, including slave labor revolts and even issues with the discovery of new technology, meaning Galen Erso is vital to the completion of at least one of the Death Star's components. It would at least explain why Director Krennic is checking up on him personally. Or what is more likely is Director Krennic has discovered that he's been in contact with the rebellion. Next up, number 5, a detail that most people missed. The Death Star targeting screen shows a shot of Jeddah. Now we know from the previous trailer that at some point in Rogue One, Jeddah is going to be absolutely devastated. And on this targeting screen you can see very clearly what seems to be the city on Jeddah. And the Death Star is basically aiming straight at it. Director Krennic is also talking about the super laser's immeasurable power, and at some point something huge is going to happen. My guess is Director Krennic is going to fire the Death Star super laser at Jeddah. Remember, the Death Star has not been completed yet, meaning the blast would not destroy the entire planet, but at the very least, absolutely devastate it. This explains why the Rogue One squad need to escape Jeddah so fast, and why the planet was not instantly destroyed. Moving on to number 4, the Imperial facility on Scarif is huge. There are multiple facilities dotted around the islands, including one massive Imperial structure that is heavily fortified. We also learn later that the Empire has no idea the rebels are coming, and that a large force of rebellion soldiers are moving through the jungle to one of these structures. Next up, number 3, in the city on Jeddah we see a crashed X-Wing. This is not present in the previous trailer, which suggests at some point the Rebel Alliance attacks the Empire on Jeddah. Now, we also know a Star Destroyer and a Stormtrooper garrison are occupying the city, meaning the X-Wing may have been part of a larger force sent to disable or destroy the Star Destroyer. Maybe this is why Director Krennic has the Death Star fire its laser at the city in the first place. It seems a bit overkill, but from what we know of Jeddah and its Jedi significance, it's understandable why the Empire would want to destroy it. Either way, a large battle will take place here, and it will probably be the first major fight that the Rogue One squad goes through. Next up, number 2 is a huge space battle. What looks like the entire Rebel fleet turns up to destroy an Imperial space station. If you look at the planet below in this sequence here, it's quite obvious that this is happening above Scarif, which is also the setting for Star Wars Battlefront's next DLC. Now, if the Rebel fleet is turning up to Scarif in force like this, then perhaps this is where the Death Star plans are, or at the very least a significant component in the construction of the Death Star. And last but not least, Galen Erso's dad, Galen Erso, seems to have been hit or possibly shot on the Rain planet. He's crouching down on what seems to be the landing pad, meaning perhaps Director Krennic has learned that he sent the Rebellion a coded transmission informing them of the weapons test, basically revealing the Empire's biggest secret. Maybe Jyn arrives too late before her father is killed by Krennic, or maybe Krennic spares him because he has to finish the work on the Death Star. Either way, we won't know until Rogue One releases. Anyway, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, tell me in the comments below. Also, if you think you spotted anything else in the Rogue One trailer that I missed, then tell us all about that in the comments as well. Thank you very much for watching. Your support is very much appreciated. I'll see you next time, and may the Force be with you.